In this video, we are showing how to install a vertical door on a standard L&L model XLE box furnace. Shown here is how the furnace and door typically arrive. The door and uprights are shipped separate from the furnace. The uprights will have the guide bars and door sprockets attached. Typically, there is a length of lumber at the base of the uprights to keep them spread apart during shipping. We have staged the counterweight box on top of the furnace with some lumber to give space to be able to lift the box with a forklift. This will be needed to lift the counterweight box in order to connect to the door chains later. The door will not have the chains attached. We have pre-installed them using the supplied roller chain and connecting links, as well as hooked the door to an overhead crane so it can be lifted into place later in the installation. Throughout the video, we will be showing the installation using an overhead crane, as that is how we assemble the furnace at our facility. An overhead crane is not required. A forklift can be used as long as the components are properly supported when being lifted. The first step of the installation is to remove the guide bars from the upright assembly. Each guide bar is secured using 5/5/16 hex head bolts. These can be removed using a 1/2-inch socket. This hardware will be reused later. To lift the upright into place, we are using an overhead crane with a lifting strap. With the upright off the ground, it can be lined up with the front face of the furnace. The holes on the upright are aligned with the holes on the furnace. 3/8 hardware is provided to be used for mounting the uprights. With the uprights attached to the furnace, the next step is to install the door. Again, we are using an overhead crane with lifting chains attached to the door guide pins to lift the door. With the door off the ground, it can be maneuvered into place and installed into the angled slot of the door guide plates. Make sure the door is installed into all 4 guide plates. With the lifting crane removed from the door guide pins, the next step is to reinstall the door guide bars that were removed earlier. The guide bars will hold the door within the upright assembly. These can be reattached using the original 5/16 hardware. With the door mounted and the guide bars reinstalled, the final step is to connect the door chains to the counterweight box. The counterweight box can be lifted up toward the door sprockets using a fork truck. The door chains are installed over the sprockets and connected to the counterweight box using supplied connecting links. Only one of the door sprockets is keyed to the axle. This allows the second sprocket to spin freely and self-correct to keep the door and counterweight level while the door opens and closes. Once both chains are connected, the fork truck can be removed and the counterweight will be fully supported by the chains. Some adjustments may be needed to level the counterweight box. This completes the door installation. Depending on the type of door, there may be additional steps. Our video is showing a pneumatic door, so the next steps would be to install the door lift cylinder and connect the compressed air lines. If this were an electric door, the next step would be to install the motor and drive chain. If there are any questions about this video, please reach out to our service department at service@llfurnace.com.